Yeah, good evening, parents. Good evening, Prajit's mom, Rakavi's mom, Madhumita's mom, Kirtana's mom, Krishmi's mom, and Tanishka's mom. Good evening, parents. Am I audible?
Good evening, ma'am.
Oh, I think I was on mute.
Ma'am,
Okay,
good
good
evening,
evening,
ma'am.
parents. Yeah, good evening, parents. Good evening, Prajit's mom, Rakavi's mom, Madhumita's mom,
Good evening, ma'am.
Kirtana's mom.
Good evening,
Yeah, good
ma'am.
evening, Tanishka's mom, Dhanya's mom, and Krishmi's mom.
Good evening,
Good
ma'am.
evening,
Good
ma'am.
evening, ma'am.
Good evening, parents. Thank you so much for joining in. I was actually waiting for a few more parents. I was expecting 5 more parents, uh, but then I don't know. I've not received any communication from them so far. So let's get started. I think I've made you wait in the meeting for the last 20 minutes. I was just waiting for some of the parents. Thank you so much for your patience, parents. So without any further delay, let me get started. So students who want to take up the physical classes can have a look at the address. So the center is put up on 7th Cross East Tilanagar. It's in the 3rd floor of a commercial complex. I shall share the details about the center address later on WhatsApp. So students attending physical classes will find the center here on 7th Cross Tilanagar. And this is a brief introduction about myself. So you all know I'm Kumuda Rengarajan, and I'm basically from Bangalore. I received my primary and secondary education from Bangalore. I passed my 10th standard from an ICSE school. Right from LKG to 10th standard, I studied at New Horizon Public School. So the school followed the ICSE curriculum, and we had fantastic teachers. I remember them till date, and I'm very thankful to them. And after that, I pursued my career in commerce. I am a commerce undergraduate, again from Bangalore University. So you can see from my qualification that I have no connection with maths, but math is a subject which I loved since school. And I also realized that I have this passion to teach. So both put together, this passion for mathematics and this passion to teach, I thought, I'll just turn myself into a mathematics tutor. So I chose this profession by passion out of passion for the subject. Uh, but I think the kind of schooling I received, the kind of teachers I had, uh, I must proudly say that at that time we received fantastic education. We didn't have to attend tuition classes for extra understanding or knowledge. The teachers at school were so fine that their explanation was more than sufficient to score very good marks. Of course, the practice and the effort of the student is a must, but the teachers were highly efficient with the subject. They had a very good command over the subject. They did all that we needed to face the board exam very confidently. So I think that itself, having studied in an ICSE school, I think we had more in terms of syllabus, in ICSE. Yeah, so to mention a few chapters, we had set theory, matrices, logarithms, locus, and trigonometry also was more in detail than what we have in Cbse today. Parents, am I audible? Is my voice reaching you clearly, parents?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, parents. Thank you. Yeah. So we had, see, now I need to justify, right? You need to trust me as a teacher. You're going to vest your children with me for their 10th, which is a very, which marks an important milestone in your child's education. So you need to understand, what I am and how I am eligible to, teach math for your child. So this is what it is. As I was telling you, the syllabus, which we had in ICSE back then, and it is still the same. It's not been revised since then. So what the syllabus, what exists today for the 10th standard students, the same as what existed way back in the year 1992. So then in ICSE, we had to study the 9th and 10th portions for the 10th board exam. So we had volume 1, mathematics volume 1 for standard 9, mathematics volume 2 for standard 10, and both put together was the portions for the final exam. So we had, I think, a lot of revision, so 9th standard and then repeat that for 10th standard. And the syllabus is so well crafted that, you have to deal with the 9th standard concepts again in 10th standard to work the, syllabus of 10th standard. So we were repeatedly practicing 9th and 10th portions. So meaning we became more strong with the concepts. So as I was telling you, these chapters, set theory, Venn diagrams, matrices, logarithms, locus, and we had a lot in constructions. So constructions helped us to understand the concepts better. Now in Cbse, I think the syllabus in constructions is really underestimated. It's too less for the children because constructions give a pictorial idea of the concepts. So now, if I have to tell children about, say some important things about circumcenter, incircle, circumcircle, I just have to tell them theoretically. But then when children know how to construct a circumcircle, construct an incircle, they understand the, the theory behind that better. So the construction is actually very, very less when compared to ICSE. In ICSE, right from 6th standard, we had a lot of constructions. So we understood most of the things practically. So even now, when I think of the, the way to construct a circumcircle or an incircle, I can recall all the points or all the, important features related to that. That again is absent in the Cbse syllabus. So like this, and then as I was telling you, trigonometry and logarithms were in so much detail. And the teacher made it so easy. The portions, the syllabus was so vast. And back then parents were not efficient to handle teachers at home. It was only the teacher at school. Parents were not, they hardly knew anything about, what we learned in maths at that time. So we had no help from parents at home, nor did we attend any tuitions. So it was only the teacher at school who made the subject so easy for us. So that says her efficiency or talks about her efficiency. So it was like that. And so that's how I developed this love for the subject. I used to do fairly well, I think if not for the other subjects, I used to be one of the toppers in mathematics at school. So that gave me the confidence that I can do. There were students, doing far better than me in the other subjects. But when it came to math, yes, I was one among the toppers in the class. I was a good student at school, not to brag or boast, but yes, I was doing, well above average. I used to score about 80 to 90% in all the subjects consistently. And I've also got the highest in a few subjects in my 10th standard level. So this, my teachers, they constantly told us, they motivated us, they made us feel good for what we were. So it was all this this backup of my education, which I received from my school there. I got this confidence that I can do something with mathematics. And very interestingly, I also had the passion to teach. So as I was telling you, both put together, I finished my BCom just to have a degree. Why I chose to do BCom is just have a degree, a simple degree. That's it. Because, you just want to have a degree because you don't want to say that you've just finished your 12th standard. So I just did my BCom like that. And I was very sure I'll not take up a job. I was not interested in that, 9 to 6 job. I was very sure about that also. So this gave me a lot of satisfaction. I started teaching since then. I passed out of BCom in the year 96, and since then I've been teaching. So I started off teaching primary students. I cannot directly teach grade 10 students. So I started teaching primary students. I helped them with all the subjects. So 5, 6. So slowly, like that, my journey in teaching started way back in the year 96 when I passed out of my BCom. So since then, I've been into teaching. So I was dealing with primary students and then middle school students and then high school. So slowly I had to learn, right? Because whatever you learn in 10th standard, you don't remember always. But then you can always recall. Going back to the books, you can always recall. So that's what I was doing. I was just preparing myself to be a capable teacher. So I did all this. I started with 5th standard and then moved on to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was teaching all the subjects, and then it was getting hectic after my marriage. I was not able to manage. I knew I will not be able to manage that. So then I settled down teaching only mathematics, which is one of my favorite subjects, though I love all the subjects actually. Um, so like that, I settled down with mathematics. And here in Trichy, we don't have the ICC syllabus uh, at many schools, right? So we have mostly the schools here follow the Cbse curriculum. So actually, that was one thing which was very difficult for me to accept, because I just love the ICSE curriculum. I just love it so much. But I was doing only ICSE when I was in Bangalore. But after marriage, when I came down to Trichy, I found that not many schools followed the ICSE curriculum. So then I used to teach all the curricula here actually. Again, back then in 2001, we had this Anglo-Indian syllabus, matriculation syllabus, state, CBSE and ICSE. So I was doing all because I never got many students at that time. So I was teaching like randomly, one from, one from ICC, one from CBSE, like that. And then it was getting difficult. I was not able to manage that. So then I thought, okay, so CBSE is the most common syllabus here in Trichy. So I settled down with that. So I think for a good 20 years now in Trichy, I'm into teaching, math for CBSE students. And I've been enjoying since then, it's been a fantastic journey. Yes, and I know it's going to be always. So that's about me. That's about me. Over the years, I've got to deal with so many children that they've made me a better teacher. Every year, students make me a better teacher. Their doubts, everything from all the inputs I get from the students, they make me a better teacher every year. So I'm always thankful to my teachers and my professors at college for whatever I am today, and also to every batch of students who believe in me, who trust my classes, and who spread, by word of mouth about my classroom to their acquaintances. Just a minute, parents. Just a minute. So that was about me. And this is my honest opinion about, what children can do. So in my words, most children perform well below their true potential in exams. So mentoring students with the right tools and strategies. So right tools and strategies meaning uh, introducing questions through multiple choice questions, uh, then telling them the difference between how to handle a question where the steps are limited and where the steps have to be really in detail, introducing the concepts through variety of questions. there are different styles in which the questions can be asked. So introducing all those different styles in which a situation can be asked. So that is what when I say mentoring students with the right tools, the questions in a specific way, and strategies can build their skills in preparing for an exam. Effectively delivering syllabus appropriate knowledge. That's very important. So, it shouldn't be like this. I teach them something and I ask them something else in the exam. So the question paper is full of surprises. I deliver something in the class, I teach children something in the class, and then my question paper has something else. So the question paper is full of surprises. So that will be eliminated. So now what happens is in school, children are not taught the syllabus in detail. They work out only from NCRT at school. While in my classroom, when I take up a chapter, it will be covered in detail from books like R.D. Sharma and Agarwal. Now, for the last 2 years, I've been giving only online classes. So that really was very tough on me because I had to, spare time for the presentations, preparing the presentation. So I should admit that for the last 2 years, my classes were not really up to the mark in the sense I was not able to conduct tests, give assignments on time because I was always busy preparing the presentations for the class that evening. So that really sucked a lot of time. But before COVID, before 2020, my classroom performs in a particular way. So we have a test every class. We have a test every class based on the portions taught to the children in the earlier class. 1 or 2 questions. So tests of 10 to 15 minutes every class so that the child is forced to practice. See, that regular practice is very important. And, simply telling the children practice regularly, study, work hard, that's very important. This decides your future. No, all that children will hear and leave. So you must make them do it. How do you make them do it? We cannot sit beside them always. So there is a test. Every class is a test. So you are assessed. Every class you are assessed. You are judged in every class. So children are forced to study because they're going to compete with their peers. And obviously, all of us want to do well. So there is a compulsion to study. There is a compulsion to practice. The child cannot come to the next class without having gone through the portions taught in the earlier class or classes. Because there's going to be a test every class. And the question of the test will not be directly from what I had taught in the earlier classes. There will be a slight twist where the child has to think to answer that. That way, that abstract thinking will be developed in the child. As I told you, I will be covering, the syllabus from using NCRT, R.D. Sharma and Agarwal. But it's not that I'll be working each and every sum from R.D. Sharma, each and every sum from Agarwal, each and everything from NCRT. No, that's going to be highly time consuming. For that, we need 3 years. Excuse me. Because R.D. Sharma is like, it will take 2 years. To work the whole of R.D. Sharma will take 2 years. Each and every sum from R.D. Sharma. That's highly voluminous. You can see the book. The size of the book will tell you how long it will take to work each and every sum from that. And again, there is so much in the exercise. Excuse me. So all the concepts they need from these books, NCRT, Agarwal and R.D. Sharma, whatever concepts are needed for these children from these books, from the syllabus point of view, will be covered. So I have my own, the material kind of, my own material. So I do it in that order. So that will cover everything. And I promise not one question away from what I have taught can appear in the test or exam at any school in India. That's a challenge. That's a promise. That's a challenge. I take that as a challenge. There cannot be a question or any situation outside what I have taught. It may be a different question, but the knowledge to attempt that question would have been delivered in my classroom. I'm not saying that same to same sum would have been worked. The chapters will be covered so much in detail that no question outside the concepts which I have taught in the classroom can happen in the test or exam at school. Any school in India, any Cbse school in India, that's a challenge. So to that extent, the syllabus will be completed in detail. So when I finish a chapter, it's completed in detail. There's a test in every class, forcing the child to practice whatever has been taught in the earlier classes. And at the end of every chapter, so this test will repeat every class. And at the end of every chapter, there'll be a chapter assessment. And the chapter assessment can be online also, because when it comes to MCQs, it will be online. So it'll be a combination of online and offline exams. So sometimes it's a paper pen test. The regular tests, which happen every class, is a paper pen test that will be corrected and handed over to the students in the next class. Parents are free to drop into the center to, give their suggestions or share anything about their child. We will not procrastinate anything. We will not wait for a test to happen at school and, see the marks of the child and then meet me. No. You check with your child every class. At the end of every session, you check with your child if I was, effective in delivering the concepts, effective in making the child understand. You check with your child every class. Any one class your child says that no, I did not follow the class, you come and report it to me immediately. Because we need to take actions immediately. See, there's no point, accumulating things and then time wasted is wasted. At the end of every class, you can check with your child if the child has followed the concepts delivered in that class. So the regular test will be a paper pen test, which will be corrected and handed over in the next session. Sometimes maybe if I'm occupied with something else, there may be a delay, but it will be evaluated. Mostly it's evaluated promptly, but you must excuse me on occasions when it is delayed. And then, as I was telling you, there will be a chapter test. At the end of every chapter, there'll be a chapter test. It can be only online or only paper pen test, or it can be a combination of both, depending on the chapter. Like when it comes to trigonometry, it can be partly offline, meaning online, but mostly paper pen. So it depends on the chapter. However, the child will be evaluated with every chapter, with the portions in every chapter. And yeah, so that's how surprises are eliminated. So mostly now when the child does not attend any class, the child attends only school and say has to face an exam or a test at school itself. There are surprises. Teacher has not handled such a question in the class, but that happens in the exam. That is why parents now seek tuitions. If everything is done in the school, why tuitions? Because school does only NCERT now. School is just to get a certificate. But the actual thing, now we don't ask teachers at school anything. We just attend the parent-teachers meeting, because even I'm a parent of 2 children. We just attend the parent-teachers meeting at school because we know my child is with some teacher, with some tuition teacher. Let me go and ask her. The child has got, 50 on 100. The school teacher is spared. The tuition teacher is the one who's responsible now. My child has got 50 on 100. Why? School also we pay tuition fees. But now the responsibility is with the tuition teacher, the tutor, and I take the full responsibility. I will do all that is needed from my end, but our children have to practice on a daily basis. Assignments will be given. There will be regular assignments. Assessments, I told you, there will be regular assignments. Assignments also can be online. Assignments also can be online. So it will be, my classroom will be teaching us both physical and online. Children can choose to attend the classes online or they can attend the classes at the center. When the child is sick or, parents are not available to drop the child at the center or for some other reason, a child attending physical class can always switch to the online mode for that particular class. The child who attends physical class regularly can attend the class in the online mode for some reason, not able to attend the class at center, so you can take up the class online. So that way, I ensure that the child does not miss the class. The child is sick, or it's raining, you're not able to drop your child, so you can always switch to the online mode. And the other advantage is that you have the recording for every class. So if at all the child is not able to take up any class, then also the child is not missing because there is the recording. The child can go through the recording and get the understanding of the class. So the syllabus is covered in great detail, all from examination point of view. And the most important thing is that the child should use only the tuition notebook to work out mathematics. Whatever is taught in the class must be put to practice. The child should not use anything from any other source. Practice only from the tuition notebook and the school classwork notebook. Maintain the school classwork notebook neatly and the books at tuition neatly. Only these books will be the source for your questions and practice. You should not refer any other book, because what I believe is whatever you have been made to understand, you practice that. Don't pick new situations and trap yourself in that. The teacher at school has taught you something. You've learned something from me at my classes. Work out these. Whatever you have heard from your teachers, practice that. And remember that. It's not, I've understood everything in school. On tuition also, I understood everything. So let me do something new. That's not the way we do. We always practice what is being taught to us. Do that. I suggest students can maintain different books for each chapter because there's going to be so much at the end of the year. So you can maintain different books. So have one book for a chapter. Supposing that book gets over, get another book for the same chapter. So maybe sometimes some chapters are really, voluminous that you may not, one book may not be sufficient. So a long ruled notebook is preferred. A long ruled notebook, not unruled, a long ruled notebook is preferred. So maintain 1 or 2 long notebooks for a chapter. So supposing some pages are still remaining in the second book, but I start a new chapter, it's okay. Leave that book aside. Take a new book for the second chapter. So that way, there's less, that feeling is very important. When you, have to prepare for some 3 to 4 chapters, you can pick only those books, have it in front of you. You don't have to flip through so many pages and damage the book. If you buy one big book of 300 pages or 400 pages and, use that for tuition. So you have so many chapters in one book. So the book also is subject to a lot of wear and tear. And by the time, it is March and you need to revise, it's not in a good condition. So I suggest you maintain one book for every chapter. So even if there are some more pages remaining in that book, leave that. You can take a new book for the next chapter. So that way things are very clear. You can pick the correct book for any particular chapter. And this is the most important thing I'm repeating. Do not use any other source for practice. Practice only from the tuition notebook. But the only thing is, all of us know this. Different schools start off the portions in different order. So that is the challenge. So in one school, statistics is happening. In another school, real numbers is happening. In another school, they're doing linear equations. Now, what do I do? So this, this can happen anywhere, wherever you attend. Wherever you attend classes, this is a common problem. Because whom do I address? So maybe I'm doing a different chapter. So initially there is that struggle. You have some portions for tests at school, which I have not covered. So it's difficult for me to attend to you personally. Maybe I can share some, material based on that chapter. If you say share some material, I'll just try to help myself. That I can do. or maybe 1 or 2 sums you have a doubt and you want me to explain, maybe I can try to do that. But the whole thing, your complete portions, I will not be able to help you. So that is a challenge wherever you attend classes, because nobody can, any center for that matter cannot attend your school portions. If all the schools did the chapters in one particular order or the same order, even I would do the same thing. But that never happens. So there's always a jumble. Each one says different portions for their exams at school. So the first few months is going to be difficult. Difficult in the sense I may not be able to help you. Coincidentally, if the test at school is based on the portions I have covered here, you're lucky. You get to have the extra sums also from that chapter or from those chapters. Otherwise, you have to manage. So otherwise, apart from that, I don't see any other drawback. Apart from that, I don't see any other drawback. So as I was telling you, even if you miss a class, you have the recording. On a particular day, you're not able to attend physical class, you can switch to the online mode. Both not possible, recording. So regular practice is ensured through tests. And you are constantly judged with your marks. And that is important. You need to be judged because you need to know where you stand among your peers. And every time you're going to compare you with yourself. You don't have to compare yourself. Motivation you get from the peers. Motivation is what you get from the peers. You're not competing with your peers. You're competing with yourself. You want to score better than what you scored last time. So that way you will improve. Each one climbs up the ladder in their own pace. Everybody is different. So we are not going to compare, ourselves with somebody else. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So you're going to compare you with yourself, and your friends will motivate you. Their performance will motivate you to strive better, to take more efforts and bring the best version of yourself. So that's about the classes here. So surprises will be eliminated. I'll say surprises is 0. You will have 0 surprises in the test. Every other question will be familiar because everything will be dealt here in the classroom. So test anxiety is what is the problem today with children. Test anxiety is because of the surprises. Because you don't know, because you have prepared, but there's something else going to be in the paper at school. So you're not ready for that. You have prepared with something, but you're sure your teacher is going to prepare a paper of questions outside what she's taught in the school. That's why test anxiety. We didn't have test anxiety because teachers used to teach us everything, and from that only something will be asked in the exam. A little different, but then she's already equipped us with the knowledge. We need to face a test. So test anxiety was less. Back then, we were not scared of board exams. Today, you have so many, mock exams before the board. We did not even have one mock exam before the board. Or even if we had, I don't remember. Meaning, we were not like frightened. We were not, what do I say? How do I put it? There was no fear of board exam. There was no pressure of board exams. Today, they finish the portions in November, start of mock exams from December. So exams after exams, exams after exams, still exam after exam, still the child is preparing for every exam. There's one mock exam is over, full portions, one mock exam is over. Again for the next mock exam, study again from the beginning. Why? Third mock exam, again do everything from the beginning. Still we are not able to perform well. So that bridge will be, that gap will be bridged here. That gap will definitely be bridged here. See, that's what it is. Your experiences from the online classes, I'm sure whatever I taught, that it's going to be like that, even in my physical classes. There's not going to be any difference there. But then that protocol which I had in my classroom, that very strict protocol of tests and assignments, That I was not able to manage in this COVID, in these online classes. As I told you, I was so much occupied with the presentations, preparing the presentations. It sucked my time. I had no time to think of anything else. So that evaluation through tests, I was not able to do regularly, which is actually, which actually happens regularly in my classroom before 2020. Regular assignments, regular assessments. And most children used to do well. Children who did not like mathematics started to love the subject. Most children used to perform well. Now that sincerity among children is also coming down, you're tired sometimes because you prepare so well and still you don't get good marks. So you're like, you give up. Oh, it's okay. Let me just, get whatever with this little effort. Now that if efficiency is there, but that hard work is sort of, I feel it's coming down. Maybe because of, overuse of gadgets, a lot of distractions we have today, movies and gadgets, and I'm not sure, but that I think I need to improve, at least in my classroom. When I used to teach earlier, children, like they were hungry for knowledge. They wanted to learn new things. They wanted more and more. Today it's like, okay, we're done with the extra round. People show a big sigh of relief, finish this chapter. Earlier, children wanted more, because they wanted to make sure, they have nothing new in their tests at school. So there are a few things which have changed over the years, which I will strive to change, at least in my classroom. So children don't have to worry about the surprises. Test anxiety will almost be zero if I have covered those chapters here. If I have covered those chapters here, test anxiety, if you have, will almost become zero. So students of class 10 will be into this top-notch program. Students of class 10 will be into this top-notch program. So in this, you will be, taught concepts to excel in your board exams, your school exams, all your school exams, plus the board exam. And if at all you want to take up any competitive exams, if at all you want to take up any competitive exams like NTSC, KVPY, you will have the strong fundamentals for that. You need to work hard, children. It will be given in my classroom, but you need to practice hard for all that. So batch 1 classes will be both online and offline. Student can choose any mode of their convenience. But when it is online, I cannot be as responsible as I will be for offline students, because when it's online, it is the parent's responsibility or the child's own responsibility to be responsible. So when the child has to write, the child has to write. If the child is not writing, I cannot make out. So that responsibility factor, parents will be taking over. When the child attends physical classes, I assume complete responsibility. I make sure the child does everything in the classroom. But when the child attends the classes online, I can't make out. See, quality is the same. Whatever I teach, because it's simultaneous. It's not a different class for online and offline. It's the same offline class which will happen online. It's the same offline class that's going to be online also. So whatever is explained is the same for both online and offline students. The difference is offline, the children, we are meeting personally. So I get to see what they're doing in the class. While when it is online, I cannot take up that responsibility. So parents have to make sure that the child is writing. And when it comes to tests or exams, parents have to make sure that children don't use the gadget, because now you can even voice search an answer on Google. You can even voice search. You can just read the question and Google gives you the answer. So Again, so that part parents have to take it. So it's very easy for a child to make mistakes. We don't want to, but when we are not ready or prepared for a test, we sometimes, force ourselves to, we know it's a mistake, but still we do it because we don't want to get zero. So parents have to take care of all this. Writing, if the child is writing during, if the child is writing during the sessions, if the child is taking up the tests, sincerely, not involving in any malpractices, all that the parent has to take care. And even if I find the child, even if I see, it's very easy for me to make out any child attending online classes. If the child has picked the answer, from the internet and has written it, I can easily make out that. It's very easy to find out. But such things cannot be reported to the parent because I don't have a proof for that. I don't have a proof for that, right? It's my strong feeling, but I cannot prove it. And then I also have the fear if the parent will believe me or believe the child. So in that case, I don't want to take risk. So that's another thing I want to tell the parents. Any assignment or assessment, even if I strongly feel, no, the child has taken this from the internet, it's not the child's work, because I can make out. I will not say how now, because then the child will become more smart. I'll not say how now, but it's very easy to make out. This will not be reported to the parents because, again, it becomes, it's whether the parent is going to believe me or the child. So I wouldn't like to be in an awkward situation like that. That will not be reported. So there is, so like this, parents have to assume these responsibilities. If your child is highly responsible, you don't have to worry. The child will, manage everything perfectly by himself or herself. So batch 1 is for students who have finished their, 9th standard exams at school. Or even if you have not finished, but you wish to start off early, that's fine. That's completely your choice and your parents' choice. So batch 1 is for students who have finished their 9th standard exam at school. If you have not finished, but you want to start off early, also you can join this batch. So this starts off on 16th February 2023. Classes will be on every Thursday and Saturday. Every Thursday and Saturday from 6:30 to 9. That is a long time, but sometimes it might extend to 9:15 also. So parents have to cooperate because the syllabus is vast and I'm going to do more beyond NCRT. And 2 days is because I don't want children to spend time simply traveling, to the tuition classes and spending time there. So 2 classes and you have the other subjects also to study. So 2 classes will be more than enough for me to finish the portions in November. Yeah, so this one, whether it is batch 1 or batch 2 starts off in 23rd March. Batch 2 starts off on 23rd March. Both the classes, if both the batches are running full strength, I cannot merge it. It will happen separately. But I don't, since the classroom is big, I think I can merge the batches. So eventually, batch 1 and batch 2 will be merged. If at all, that's quite rare, but if at all it's not possible, then I'll have to think as to how to handle that. But otherwise, it will be merged. So the classes, whether it is batch 1 or batch 2, it will happen on Thursday, Saturday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. There will be assignment every week. Every week, children will be given homework. And I'll also tell them how to plan and do the homework. When to do it, how to manage other subjects with mathematics. All that will be explained to the students in the classroom. So the portions will be completed by 18th November or at the most by the end of November. And from then we'll start the revision for the board exam. So it will be in the form, revision will be in the form of chapter wise revision followed by tests also. So there will be both recall, a recap of whatever we've studied from every chapter, the important things, plus regular tests. So the question, children would have solved a couple of, exams also. Exams I will not do much because children will always be already be doing a lot of exams at school. So see, it's just 10th standard, so children need not be stressed so much. I'll help them with the practice for their school exams. If the parent wants the child to write more and more of, the 80 marks exam, maybe I'll do it for the child separately. But I don't believe in that because you don't have to squeeze your child so much for this 10th standard board exam. So we can do relaxed, we can do chapter wise. What the child has to do at home, let's do it here in the class. We'll revise chapter wise. We'll take up small tests. So you have to have the child should always have that energy. The child should not get saturated by the time it is March, by the time it's time for the board exam. So that excitement of the board exam is lost, when the child attends 1, 2, 3 mock exams at school, the child is saturated. That interest to prepare for the exam is gone because it's tired preparing for the exams, exam after exams at school. Actually, it is that. So if parents want, exams right from December, give them 80 marks exam, 80, then I'll do it for that child separately, not for the class. Class, I believe, will do chapter wise revision, small tests. Keep the children, energetic. See to that they're not saturated. See to that they're mentally healthy and active always. So now mental health, is more important. Now physical health can be cured. Mental health is what is becoming, more with children. Imbalance of mental health is getting more in children these days. So there is what parents and teachers have to really take care. So keeping all that in mind, I will not squeeze the children with, 80 marks exams. We will have maybe 1 or 2, but we will do a lot of chapter wise assessments. So that's about the classes and assignments and assessments and all that. Thursday, Saturday, 6:30 to 9 will be the regular sessions, both online and offline. There will be no extra classes. Children will not be called for any other extra class apart from Thursday and Saturday. We will have classes in the month of May. Month of May, we may have more classes. So if the child is not in town, has to take up the meaning a child who attends physical classes, if is not available for the physical classes in the month of May, has to take it up online. There will be class in the month of May. May is the month when, we'll try to complete more because the child is free. So we'll try to do as much as possible in the month of May. So that cannot be eliminated. Classes in the month of May cannot be eliminated. Only then I can finish it by November. So this May month portions that is completed in May month is very important to complete the portions by November. Yeah. So as you can see here, parents, there'll be a detailed chapter introduction. Books authored by R.D. Sharma and R.S. Agarwal will be used extensively in my classroom. Children cannot make out that because I will not be using the textbook in the class. I just have my own material of questions. So the child can't make out if I'm getting the question from R.D. Sharma or Agarwal or some other book or question bank, the child cannot make out. Whatever is done in the class is from these books and NCRT also. So chapter wise MCQs will be done at the end of every chapter. The child will take up a MCQ test. The child will understand how to answer a short or very short answer type question, long assertion, reasoning statements, how to handle these, and case study based questions. All this will be done chapter wise. For every chapter, chapter wise MCQs, chapter wise short, very short answer type questions, chapter wise long answer type questions, assertion, reasoning, chapter wise case study based questions chapter wise. So that means when a chapter is completed, everything is done. Everything is done. But this definitely demands a lot of time from your child's end. Apart from attending the classes every Thursday and Saturday, the child has to spend a good amount of time in the weekends. If any other day, if not weekends, any other day or any other days. So that time management, that planning is very, very important. So one timetable will not suit every child because the child may be attending some other class, school timings are different, assignments, homework given in the schools are different. Some schools give a lot of project work and this and that to the students. So I cannot make one timetable for all the students. So you have to plan and make sure that you complete the assignments. That's also a part of learning. So weekly assignments must be completed. Now see, I cannot give any punishment for this. If the child does not complete the assignment, I'm actually helpless. The child must do it and parents must monitor all this. See, the parents will be updated. There is regular communication on WhatsApp. Parents can give more than one number, student's number, father's number, mother's number. So all of you will get the messages regarding the class. So it's not that you're not informed or you did not know about the child's assignment. It's not going to be like that. So you're well informed about the assignment. So it's easy for you to monitor your child. So you don't have to know the subject. Simply pick the book and ask the child if the child has completed the homework. Flip through the pages. We don't have to understand what the child has worked. But that, looking into the child's work, the child becomes responsible. The child knows that the mother or father is going to check on the assignment. So it becomes answerable, the child. So that way, responsibility increases. Tests of 10 to 15 minutes duration in every class and detailed monthly assessment and feedback. So this is how the classroom will perform. And for those who have not been to come visited the classroom, it's a very spacious classroom. It's well ventilated, as well lit, making it a great ambience to study. Yes, parents, if I've missed out on anything, you may ask me. If you feel I've not touched or spoken about something, you may ask me now. Raghavi's mom, ஏதாவது questions இருக்கா மேம் உங்களுக்கு? பார்க்கவே வந்து ஆன்லைன்ல தான் அட்டென்ட் பண்ணாங்க. ஸோ அது வச்சு நீங்க ஏன்னா ஆன்லைன் நான் சொன்னேன்ல நான் எனக்கு டெஸ்ட் எல்லாம் அவ்வளோ அடிக்கடி கொடுக்க முடியல எனக்கு. So it will not be like that. Now in the 2 வருஷத்துல I've made enough online material also. Now everything is ready with me. So now I have no excuses. And plus the class are physical also, where I have more, grip over the students. Yes, Raghavi's mom. Any questions or Raghavi, any questions?
The questions illappa.
All right, ma'am. Madhumita's mom. Any doubt?
இல்ல மேம் நீங்க எல்லாமே டீடைலா எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிட்டீங்க. அதான் டெஸ்ட் வந்து 8th and 9th இருந்ததை விட இப்ப 10th இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஜாஸ்தி இருக்குங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. மேபி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஜாஸ்தி இருந்தா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் பெட்டரா பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுவா 10th நான் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்றேன்.
கண்டிப்பா. No, and Madhumita is very curious. She wants to learn. She always shows that readiness to learn. And she's online classes, Madhumita, she's always ready to ask doubts and get them clarified. She doesn't hesitate. So physical class இன்னும் நல்லா respond பண்ணுவான் தான். I'm 100% sure that she'll respond more in physical classes.
Okay.
Onlinely she was very active.
Okay.
So yeah, so she'll definitely perform better.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
No more questions.
Yeah. Keertna's mom, I'm just going in the order I'm seeing here. Yeah, Keertna's mom, yeah, I wouldn't ask you anything now because you're still to decide, so I'll not disturb you now. Tanishka's mom?
No, ma'am. பரவாயில்ல ma'am எனக்கு.
Okay, ma'am. Danya's mom?
Ma'am, we are okay with her improvement, ma'am. She has developed a lot of interest in maths because of your class. We are actually happy with the online sessions. I think she's okay with online. Even if we move, we will continue
Madhumita
online.
Madhida, ma'am. Thank you so much for your feedback. Madhumita Madhi, Danya Maulda, they are peers also. Danya is always ready to get her doubts clarified. She doesn't hesitate. She's an extrovert. That's very important for the world today. She does not hesitate. She just comes up with a question and she makes sure that she understands. Only if she understands, she says yes. So again, there's a lot of scope. Yes, and in the மாதிரி ரெஸ்பான்சிபிளா இருக்கிற குழந்தைங்க வந்து ஈவன் மதுமிதா ஆன்லைன்ல அட்டென்ட் பண்ணா கூட தே கேன் டூ. என்னன்னா ஆஃப்லைன் வரைச்சே ஐ கெட் டு சி வாட் த வே தே ஆர் ஒர்க்கிங். ஸோ தட் வே ஐ கேன் ஹெல்ப் தெம் பெட்டர். தட்ஸ் த டிஃபரன்ஸ். இப்போ பிசிக்கல் வந்தாங்கன்னா நான் பார்ப்பேன் இல்லை அவங்க என்ன தப்பு பண்றாங்க நான் பார்க்கறச்சே ஐ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் ஹவு ஐ ஷுட் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் டு மேக் தம் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பெட்டர். பட் when it is online அவங்க கேட்குற கேள்விக்கு தான் நான் பதில் சொல்ல முடியுமே ஒழிஞ்சு அவங்க எப்படி ஒர்க் பண்றாங்கன்றத நான் வந்து பார்க்க முடியாதனால that's the only difference.
Yeah, ma'am, we understand, but it is our situation that we could not continue online. We also wanted to be in offline. She also preferred offline, but due to our situation, we could not continue. But online also, she is feeling good only, madam. So yes, I think she is very. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll have a monitoring over her, madam. So
yes,
I think we'll surely go on with
it. Danya, Madhumita, rendu perum பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் they don't miss classes. And
yes,
even if they are not attending, they keep me well informed.
Yes,
Danya is always, one of the first students to see the message. Whenever I post or share the meeting link, அவங்க ரெகுலர் அதை கண்டிப்பா உடனே பார்த்துருவாங்க. மிஸ் பண்ணாலும் வந்து எனக்கு
we used to see her improvement in maths, no madam. She is nowadays getting above 75 out of 80. So her father also used to appreciate you like anything, because in an online class it is difficult to teach maths like anything like what you are doing. You are really doing a good job, ma'am. We would like to continue.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your words mean so much to me. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, I can see a parent, or I don't know if the student's name Shekhar. I'm sorry if it is the parent, Mr. Shekhar. Is that Dileepan's father? Yeah, actually, I wouldn't like to hold the parents. If at all parents, those who are already attended, like Raghavi's mom, Madhumita's mom, Keetna's mom, Tanishka and Danya's mom, in case it's getting late for you, you can stay till the end of the meeting. You can stay till the end of the meeting. I would be happy, but just in case it's getting late for you and you have no more queries, meaning it's fine. You can leave the call. You may stay till the end,
me,
but
madam.
just in case it's getting late, you may leave the call, parents. Yes, Mr. Shekhar.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yeah. I am Sir Tiliban. Actually, Google. I am Google father.
Okay. Oh,
Google
fine.
father.
Yes, sir.
Actually, Tiliban
Yes,
is
sir.
going to join you as a new person.
Okay.
I
Good
think
evening.
looking at the children. Actually, all the children are studying with you right now.
Yeah.
But he is going to be a new person. I don't know how he is going to pick it up.
Okay.
But let me see. When you are going to start the class, madam?
Gokul actually did very well in my classroom.
Yeah.
Just that
I really appreciate you on this, madam, because he was doing well. In fact, actually, he's supposed to go for engineering, but he did go for medical later. Actually, he changed his topic.
Okay, yeah. So just that if he had enrolled into the classroom in 9th standard, I would have had more time to, bring the best out of the child.
That is what actually I never thought, because I thought only you are going to do the tuition for 10th.
Okay.
Just now I came to know you are also going to have the class for 9th and 10th.
I teach right
that will be
from
fine.
6th standard to 10th standard.
Yeah, that is what I am hearing right now. Right now he is going for tuition on maths and science. But I don't know whether you are going to have a class for science. Only you are going to do the only science,
No.
only maths.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Only maths. Okay, that will be fine. No issue, madam. Another question. Actually, you are going to start the second batch on March 23.
Correct.
I heard from my son. Actually, he is going to have annual exam on the date.
That's okay. Whatever few classes they miss, I will make good those classes.
Okay,
that's fine.
Okay, that will be fine. That will be fine, madam.
Maybe I might even postpone the date. Supposing so what if all the children who have enrolled for that batch happen to be Montfort students? Then I have to push my date of commencement of batch 2 classes.
Yeah, definitely, madam. Definitely,
it's
madam.
very likely that
other
could
children
happen.
Also. Yeah.
Correct.
Because I think all the Cbse students are going to have the class exam on the same date. I don't know really whether they are going to have.
In that case, that's all. In that case, to suit the convenience of all the students, the date will be moved to a later date.
Yeah, that will be fine, madam. That will be fine.
Yes, sir.
There is no more question, madam. Actually, I think it will be better.
Actually, right now I'm conducting free revision classes for grade 9 students. So if you're interested, you may enroll Dileepan into the 9th standard revision program.
Madam. Let me also look into it, madam, because actually he is having he is
but
going
he's
for
right now attending a different.
Yes.
Right now
Because
attending classes
the last
at a
time I
different
don't know
place.
how he is going to keep it up. It will be really difficult for him.
No, will not confuse the child. Yeah.
That is what I am thinking. That will be fine, madam. I think I can ask him to join with you on 9th. Second batch on March 23rd.
Fine, sir.
I am really happy because Google was improved a lot. I know very well.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, definitely, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you. You have given very good detailed explanation about you as well as for teaching methodology. It's really appreciated.
Thank you,
madam.
So much, sir.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Yeah, I can see Sudha, Mrs. Sudha, or is it the name of the student? Is that Tanishka's mom? Prajit's mom? Madam, any questions இருக்கா?
ஒன்றும் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் எதுவும் இல்லை மேம். எனக்கு வந்து இந்த சாட்டர்டே அண்ட் தேர்ஸ்டே அந்த கிளாஸ்ல சேஞ்சஸ் எதுவும் இருக்காதுங்களா டைமிங்லையும் கிளாஸ்லையும்?
இருக்காது மேம். ஏன்னா இந்த ஊர்ல ஆகாஷ் ஒரு சில குழந்தைங்க என்கிட்ட படிக்கிறாங்க. அதனால அவங்க வந்து மண்டே டியூஸ்டே ஃப்ரைடே போறாங்க அங்க. அதனால இது Thursday Saturday
நான் மத்த டியூஷன்ஸ் போட்டுப்பேன். அதுக்காக இது மாதிரி தான் கன்ஃபார்ம்டுனா ஓகே.
Thursday Saturday தான் மேம். ஏன்னா அங்க படிக்கிறவங்க ஒரு 4 பேர் சேர்ந்திருக்கிறதுனால இந்த சேஞ்சஸ் இருக்காது. அவங்க அங்கேயும் போயிட்டு இங்கேயும் வரணும். அதனால சேஞ்சஸ் இருக்காது. Thursday Saturday தான்.
நவம்பரும் இதே தானுங்களா? ஆஃப்டர் நவம்பரும் நம்ம ரிவிஷன் அப்பவும் இந்த டைமிங் தானே இருக்கும்.
டேஸ் மாறாது.
டேஸ் மாறாது. டைமிங்
ஆமா. Thursday Saturday மட்டும் தான் இருக்கும்.
ஓகே.
யா. எஸ் மேம்.
ஓகே மேம். ஓகே, थैंक यू. மார்ச் செகண்ட் பேட்ச்ல ஜாயின் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கு.
ப்ராஜெக்ட்க்கு எப்போ எக்ஸாம் முடியுது மேம்?
மார்ச் 20th முடியுது மேம்.
அப்பதான் முடியுதுங்களா? ஓகே மேடம், உங்களுக்கும் சோ இப்போ ஐ அம் கண்டக்டிங் தி ரிவிஷன் கிளாसेस. இது வந்து இட்ஸ் 100% ஃப்ரீ ரிவிஷன் கிளாसेस ஃபார் 9th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட். if you're interested you can just talk to Prajit. வேற எங்கயும் கிளாஸ் போறோம்
மேம். ஃப்ரெஞ்சுக்கு போறோம். கொஞ்சம் பிஸியா தான் இருக்கறான். நான் கேட்டு பார்க்கறேன். ஃப்ரீயா இருந்ததுன்னா நான் அனுப்பி விடுறேன். நான் கொஞ்சம் ஆக்குபைடா தான் இருக்கறான். மார்ச் மந்த் தான் கொஞ்சம் ஃப்ரீ ஆகும். நான் கேட்டு பார்க்கறேன். நான் இன்ட்ரஸ்ட் இருந்தா அனுப்புறேன்.
Sure. Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Krishmi's parent. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. ஸோ இந்த கிளாஸஸ் வந்து தேர்ஸ்டேவும் சாட்டர்டேவும் அந்த கான்ஸ்டன்டான டைம் தானே மேடம்?
Thursday, Saturday, 6:30 to 9, ma'am. ஆமா.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே.
சேஞ்சஸ் எதுவும் இருக்காது மேம்.
ஓகே
ஏன்னா
மேடம்.
வேற கிளாஸ் போற குழந்தைங்களும் இங்க வரதுனால அங்க வந்து மண்டே டியூஸ்டே ஃப்ரைடே போறாங்க. அதனால நான் மாத்தினா அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாமே டிஸ்டர்ப் ஆயிடும். அதனால எப்பயுமே அப்படி இருக்கும். அதாவது அந்த அப்படிதான் மீனிங் அந்த இன்னொரு கிளாஸ் போறவங்களும் இங்கேயும் வரதுனால டைம்ஸ் டேஸ் மாத்த முடியாது என்னால மேம். Thursday, Saturday தான் இருக்கும். Thursday, Saturday தான் இதே டைம் தான் 6:30 to 9 தான் இருக்கும்.
ஓகே மேடம். ஓகே. இந்த 2 டேஸ் மட்டுமே போதுமா மேடம் உங்களுக்கு?
நான் பண்ணிடுவேன் மேம். யா பிகாஸ் இட்ஸ் ஆல் டுகெதர் வித் தி அசைன்மெண்ட் எல்லாம் சேர்ந்து தான் இது. அசைன்மெண்ட்டும் இருக்கும் குழந்தைங்களுக்கு. அதனால குழந்தைங்க தே ஹேவ் டு ஒர்க் ஹார்ட். அதாவது இப்போ வந்து நம்ம வெறும் நான் போர்ஷன்ஸை முடிச்சா பார்த்தாது. குழந்தைங்களுக்கு வந்து போர்ஷன்ஸை முடிச்சு ரிவிஷன் பண்ணா மட்டும்தான் உங்களுக்கு ஞாபகம் இருக்கும் எக்ஸாமுக்கு. ஸோ ரிவிஷன் இஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அந்த ஸோ நான் நவம்பருக்குள்ள முடிக்கணும்னா கண்டிப்பா குழந்தைங்களோட கோஆபரேஷன் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஸோ அந்த மந்த் ஆஃப் மேல நான் கொஞ்சம் மேஜர் போர்ஷன்ஸ் மேல நான் முடிச்சிடுவேன்.
ஓகே ஓகே. அப்ப மேல வந்து நிறைய கிளாसेस இருக்கும்ல மேடம்?
மே மாசம் தான் அங்க ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் மந்த்னா மே மந்த் தான். ஏன்னா அப்ப ஸ்கூல் இருக்காது. ஸோ நான் கொஞ்சம் ஃபிளெக்சிபிளா இன்னும் எல்லாருக்கும் கன்வீனியன்டா இருந்தா இன்னும் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா டேஸ் எடுப்பேன். ஸோ இட் டிபெண்ட்ஸ். அது நம்ம அப்புறம் நம்ம டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். So the month of May is very important because that month I'll finish as much as possible. So குழந்தைங்களோட கோஆபரேஷன் இஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அசைன்மெண்ட்லாம் பண்ணோம் எல்லாம் சேர்ந்து தான் நம்ம அந்த சாப்டர் சீக்கிரம் முடிக்க முடியும்.
ஓகே மேடம். ஓகே. யா. ரிவிஷன் எக்ஸாம் வந்து இப்ப 9th ஸ்டாண்டர்டுக்கு எப்ப ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றீங்க மேடம்?
போயிட்டு இருக்கு மேம். நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு.
ஓகே. அது ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸ் தானா மேடம் அதுக்கு இல்ல டைரக்டா வரணும்?
இப்ப பிசிக்கல் கிளாஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கிறதுனால நீங்க பிசிக்கலாவும் வரலாம் இல்ல ஆன்லைன் உங்களுக்கு வேணா ஆன்லைன்ல எடுத்துக்கலாம் அது.
ஓகே ஓகே. நான் டைரக்டாவே வரலாம்.
வரலாம் மேம். எஸ்.
ஓகே ஓகே. என்ன டைமிங் வரலாம் மேம்?
அது வந்து இப்ப வந்து வெறும் மான்ஃபோர்ட்டுக்கு தான். அதாவது எல்லாம் இங்க இருக்கிற ஸ்கூல்ஸ் எல்லாம் மோஸ்ட்லி 9th எக்ஸாம் முடிச்சுட்டாங்க. மகாத்மா காந்தி அப்புறம் KNMS சில ஸ்கூல்ஸ் இப்ப இந்த ஆரம்பிக்க போறாங்க. அதனால 9th இப்ப என்கிட்ட இருந்தவங்கள மான்ஃபோர்ட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் மட்டும் தான் இருக்காங்க இப்ப. ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கு மட்டும் தானே இன்னும் எக்ஸாம்ஸ் முடியல. ஆமா. சோ இப்ப இருக்கிறதே மான்ஃபோர்ட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் தான் ஒரு 4 பேர் இருக்காங்க. மிச்ச பேருக்குலாம் முடிஞ்சிருச்சு எக்ஸாம்.
ஓகே.
ஆமா. இல்ல அதனால என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க அதான் சென்டர்லயும் இருக்கு. நீங்க சென்டருக்கும் வரலாம் இல்ல ஆன்லைன்ல எடுத்துக்கிறதாலும் எடுத்துக்கலாம். ரெண்டும் இருக்கு.
ஓகே. இல்ல இப்ப நான் சென்டர் வரணும்னா எப்ப வரலாம்னு கேக்குறேன்.
காஷ்மீர் 6 to 8 மேம். யா 6 to 8 Tuesday Friday.
Tuesday Friday. ஓகே.
6 to 8.
சோ நாளைக்கு ஈவினிங் நான் அழைச்சிட்டு வரேன் மேடம். போல.
யா ஷூர் மேம். எஸ்.
ஓகே மேடம். ஓகே.
வாங்க. யா.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Good night. There's another person, Sudha, Mrs. Sudha. I'm not sure if the student or parent there. Am I audible? Okay. Kirtana's mom. Madam, you have any questions, madam? Okay, okay. Sudan பேர்ல இருக்கிறது வந்து கிருஷ்மிஸ் ஃபாதர். சார் உங்களுக்கு அன்மியூட் பண்ணி ஏதாவது கேட்கணும்னா ஓகே மேடம் கேட்டாங்க. அதனால I think you have nothing to ask, right? I'll assume it like that. No mic. Okay. All right, sir. Fine. Okay. So Krishmi's parents, எதுவும் questions இல்லைன்னா you may leave the meeting. Thank you so much for joining. Rajat's mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That's it, ma'am. So if you have no further questions, you may leave the call, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good night. Yeah, Kirtana's mom. Okay, ma'am, since I'm not getting any response from your end, I'll just assume that you're not available or probably you have some issues with the mic. So I'm just about to end the meeting because I'm done with all the parents, but I'm not able to hear anything from your end. So with your permission, ma'am, I'm ending the meeting. Thank you, parents. Krishmi's parents are still in the meeting. Thank you, parents. Thanks for your time. Good night.